Rain continues this morning, but the fog will linger through lunchtime. We have another round of rain tomorrow and even for the weekend.
Postponing a meeting. The two important safety issues now put on pause this morning.
Heritage House apartment residents remain homeless after water pipes burst and caused major damage. How you can help them get back on their feet this morning. A prestigious award for a St. Louis County teacher.
It is not about surviving till the end of the year, but it's about enjoying the day where you are in front of you.
How she's going the extra mile to make sure her students succeed.
This is Today in St. Louis, focused on you.
We begin this morning with a weather alert because as you look out your window, if you're in certain places, you're going to notice that you can't see very far. This is a live look from the Chesterfield Valley. That would be Interstate 6440 heading eastbound, and you can barely see the lights. Normally when we take this, we can see all the way down to the Top Golf. So that gives you a pretty good idea of just how thick things are outside this morning. Good Wednesday morning, everybody. It is January the 24th. I'm Rennie Knott.
And I'm Michelle Lee. We just want to say thanks for joining us, including those of you who might be watching us on 5+. Hopefully your drive is going to be a little bit, I don't know, not easy, but just you take it easy. No, it doesn't look good, and I'm tired of it.
We can't get a break.
We can't get a break. We really can't. But you know, I'm glad you noticed that this fog happened starting at dinner time.
It's been
last
here a
night.
while.
Yeah.
Well, I was asleep.
You were asleep.
Yes.
I was in bed early.
Wow.
Out. That side of
we
the
were
desk.
out. What does
Both
that
of
say
us.
about us? We were like actually outside. You were just out.
Yeah, out like a
Out cold.
Like a light.
Yeah, cold like a light. Let's get to some more rain video from overnight, and this was from Florissant, Pontoon Beach, and also South St. Louis. And so we did have the rain come, and now it's starting to wrap up. In fact, as we go through the next hour, I think we're going to be done with the rain. But the fog is going to linger until lunchtime today. And then after that, well, we're cloudy, but also we're not too cold. And in fact, numbers go up into the 50s later on. So here's the tail end of the rain, wrapping up for North County now, lifting into parts of Lincoln County, up into Bowling Green, Litchfield, Effingham, Salem, Illinois, and Mount Vernon. But most of us now on the Missouri side are starting to dry out. Dense fog advisory, that remains in place. And actually, yesterday around 6, 7 o'clock in the evening was when the fog developed and has been with us overnight. So that'll clear away later. This afternoon, 53 for the high today. All right, let's talk to Paul and see how our roadways are shaping up. We're getting into the 6 a.m. hour. Usually this is when the volume gets heavier. What's going on?
Indeed, and we already have visibility issues and, well, the splash up type situation. And, well, the fog is the main visibility issue here. We're looking here in Jefferson County, 55 at A. So it's not just one or two areas. All over are we seeing that little bit of fog and visibility going on here. Also, we look at the big map. So that is not causing major delays, just 55 southbound where you'd be headed towards one of those cameras that we were just looking at. That would be headed towards South County, not going north, but going south. And then how about getting from Chesterfield to downtown where we were earlier, 24 minutes. So not bad there. That's a normal speed. Let's take a look out there at Storm Tracker right now. I believe they're in Illinois here on 255. And, well, you could see we got wipers here. Well, I thought I saw a wiper, but really it's just about fog. And you could see those headlights are definitely a little bit fuzzy. So that's something to definitely keep an eye on here this morning. Looks like we're going to normal speed, though. So great bit of news there.
All right, thanks so much, Paul. We are following some breaking news this morning after 2 T-Mobile stores were broken into overnight. This was the scene at the store at the Maplewood Commons near Hanley Road around 2:45. You can see the shattered glass on the front door. Police are telling us nobody was hurt and nothing was taken.
And then about 30 minutes later, around 3:30, another T-Mobile store was hit, this time in Melville on Lindbergh near Union. You can look at some of the damage here coming up, and it appears the door was smashed. The store manager tells us that thieves forced their way into the front door and left through the back door. Like the first incident in Maplewood, nothing was stolen. Right now, police have not said if these 2 break-ins are connected.
Sam Page funds genocide in this council co-signs.
An abrupt ending to the St. Louis County Council meeting. A group of pro-Palestinian protesters demanded a ceasefire in Gaza as the war between Israel and Hamas continues. Since the meeting was postponed, an important issue on temporary tags was not discussed. Our Sydney Stallworth is joining us live at Clayton with what happens next as the leaders call on police to crack down on these expired tags. Sydney?
Michelle, that's exactly right. You know, that wasn't the only thing. There were plenty of things on the agenda for yesterday's St. Louis County Council meeting. Most of them did not get discussed when protesters overwhelmed the chambers, and then this happened.
Ceasefire now!
We're going to clear the room.
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
And we don't clear out this room, I need you all to recognize the decorum of this chamber. I'm asking you to wrap up your statement, ma'am.
You can hear multiple attendees chanting ceasefire now concerning the Israel-Hamas conflict, and the council members calling to clear the chamber. It all happened when lawmakers were taking up a measure regarding Holocaust Remembrance Day. That measure meant that, or the disruption rather, meant that a measure to tackle rampant expired temporary license tags all over St. Louis County roads could not be introduced and debated at the meeting. And council members say the problem is a major one that needs to be addressed by police.
We're really dealing with about a 5% of the population. And so we got to make sure that we're cracking down on that 5% that chooses not to purchase their tags.
Now, temp tags are an issue in St. Louis City as well. St. Louis Police Chief Robert Tracy addressed the problem earlier this month. Let's break down the numbers. There were 32,000 tickets issued last year. 7,000 were because of vehicles that weren't registered. That's over 20% of tickets. Now, the chief did say that they started issuing charges for expired or temporary tags, and that's bringing the number of arrests down. Clearly a big issue. I'm going to tell you when the next county council meeting is going to happen in our next half hour. But for now, in Clayton, I'm Sydney Stallworth, 5 on your side.
Thanks so much, Sydney. Another topic on hold because of yesterday's protest, a memo from Council President Shalonda Webb. She's asking the county councilor's office to draft legislation giving the council legislative power over any and all public safety functions. Webb says this is not an attempt for the county to fully take over control of local municipality police departments. However, she says it is fair for citizens to expect a standard level of policing. Even if the council passed any legislation, it would still need to be approved by St. Louis County voters.
Happening today, we'll get a closer look at how the lack of tax funding is impacting St. Louis City and county schools. The research was commissioned by the St. Louis Teachers Union, Local 420. It found tax breaks, particularly TIFs, have cost students more than $260 million in the past 6 years. St. Louis Public Schools took the biggest hit, losing more than $1,600 in funding per student each year. In St. Louis County, most districts lost less than $80 per student. The disparities will be discussed at 5 o'clock tonight at Harris Stowe State University.
And then in about 2 hours from now, St. Louis County Executive Dr. Sam Page will discuss the results of a disparity study done in partnership with St. Louis City.
Yeah, his office did not say if schools will be addressed, but the county and city have an ongoing joint study about marketplace conditions and workforce participation. Dr. Page is expected to speak at 8:30 this morning in Clayton.
Well, happening today, some much needed help for the displaced folks of the Heritage House apartments.
Now 2 groups are holding a donation drive and a fundraiser. Our Megan Curtin joins us now live in Bridgeton with how you can help out. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning, Ronnie and Michelle. Well, we've been following this story closely since pipes burst more than a week and a half ago with no working heat and sub-freezing temps. Now, most of these residents are elderly at the Heritage House apartments, and many are struggling right now. That's why 2 local groups are hosting a donation drive and fundraiser tonight here at the Hilton St. Louis Airport. Now, the Vivian Whitley Foundation and Universal African Peoples Organization are holding tonight's event. They're asking for donations of non-perishable food, bottled water, healthy snacks, adult diapers, toiletries, or gift cards. The festive evening of giving starts at 6:30 tonight at the Hilton Airport Hotel on Natural Bridge. Residents moved out of their temporary housing at the Ballpark Hilton, and then they relocated here on Sunday. Now, because of the massive damage at the Heritage House, the property manager has extended their stay through next Tuesday night. But after that, according to the Vivian Whitley Foundation, residents will have to be on their own. Now, Zaki Baroudi with the Universal African Peoples Organization released this statement, saying in part, to see the pain of the elderly being uprooted from their homes, placed in one facility, and then days later having to be uprooted again, the trauma and pain of these movements has impacted the elderly. We need to wrap our arms around them with love. Now, in our next half hour, I'll tell you what the two groups are fearful of once residents have to leave the Hilton Hotel here next week. Reporting live in Bridgeton, Megan Kernan, 5 on your side.
All right, let's talk about our weather first forecast. And this morning we do have that weather alert in place, not only because of the rain, but also the fog that is in place. The rain should wrap up here within the hour. And then after that, the fog should clear somewhere around lunchtime. This afternoon, we're going to stay cloudy, just like yesterday, though. The good news, our numbers are not terrible. Starting off in the 40s, and highs today will actually get into the 50s, a warmer finish to the day. Now, tomorrow there's more rain on the way. This comes in during the day, and a steady rain on the way for Thursday. After Friday, look at how our temperatures come on down. We're talking a colder weekend, but not polar and Arctic like we had last weekend. There is another round of rain on Saturday. Details on that coming up.
Fired after fighting off criminals, while a former Starbucks employee says he was let go in an interview that you will only see here on 5 on Your Side.
Plus, former President Donald Trump wins again in New Hampshire. What's next for challenger Nikki Haley as the campaign heads south?
As we head to break, take a live look out the window. This is Edwardsville, where it doesn't seem quite as foggy as it is, say, in West County, but the fog is rolling through our area right now. We'll be burning away soon. Be careful out there. Remember, low beams when you're driving in this type of weather.